Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here today, and it's my first time to actually do a vlog, and so if I'm kind of awkward, I'm really sorry, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. So on my social media pages, I ask you guys to tweet me or comment your questions that you want me to answer, and so it could be just any random question, or it could be something super deep or something interesting, and so I'm gonna be reading these out for you guys. And before I get into that, shout out to Levi's for this awesome shirt that I'm wearing today. It's super cool. I love the summer look that it has, and so anyway, we can get to our questions. So our first question comes from Instagram, and this is from It's Me Dan B, and the question is, who are your musical influences and how did you get to songwriting? Well, I'd have to say, and I think you guys have seen this before at other interviews, my very first musical influence would be the Beatles. I love their songs, I love their songwriting style, and even the way they adapted as they went through the decades, you know, creating music. And vocally, my inspirations would be Frank Sinatra, Adele, and the person who is quite similar to how I would sing is Sarah Bareilles. And of course, I have to say that Taylor Swift did a little bit of influencing in terms of songwriting. So our next question comes from Facebook, and this is actually asked by my manager. Shout out to Kuya Chris. This is his question: what's your greatest fear? Okay, this is a really hard question because I'm sure all of us are afraid of a lot of things, and I'd like to say that I'm not afraid of anything, but in reality, I think we're all afraid of failure. But you know, everyone fails. I guess what makes you different is how you respond to these failures, and if you're willing to try again and work hard in order to succeed. Here's another question from Facebook from Kai Vicente, and she asks, food na nope, never mo kakainin. Basically, food na ayaw mo. I love food, so it's actually really hard for me to find a food that I don't like. However, the first thing that comes to mind would be eggplants. Yeah, eggplants and bell peppers. I don't know, there's just something about bell peppers that when I eat them, it feels like I'm eating plastic. Or maybe it's just the way they're cooked. The reason why I don't like eggplants is because I was traumatized one time. I was eating an eggplant and then I cut one open and there was a huge worm inside, and so after that I was like, okay, I'm not eating eggplants ever again. It was just so disgusting, but then, you know, when it's safe, I take a bite or two, but then ever since that moment I completely stopped eating eggplants. This next question comes from Twitter. This is from @Kryspcrm. Okay, that's @KRYSPCRM. And she asks, pang beauty queen yung question ko, Ate Chin. Kasi beauty queen tayo. Yes! What would be the one thing that you will sacrifice para sa mahal mo, and why? Well, in my context, I already have a boyfriend, and so if I had to sacrifice something for him, I would sacrifice my singlehood. And you know, for me, that's a sacrifice because it's not always a bad thing to be single. Oh, the light changed. Of course, we have to sacrifice our time, our effort, and sometimes our money, you know, for the person that we love, but not to an extent where nagiging martyr tayo. And I think when you love someone, it should be unconditional, but at the same time, it's also a two-way thing. And so generally, I think we should treat everyone with the same kind of love and sacrifice. But of course, for someone who I dearly love, whether it's my family, my boyfriend, or my friends, I would sacrifice time, effort, money. And for me, I wouldn't say it's a sacrifice. The light keeps changing. Come on, son, make up your mind. If you love someone, I think It should come naturally and you would enjoy it. And it wouldn't have to be a burden for you to give those things to them. The son won't make up his mind. This next one is on Twitter from Cariza Sarmiento at I am carrying two. Anong favorite verse mo, ate? And kung may song ka na ide-dedicate kay Lord, ano yun? At the moment, my favorite verse is Jeremiah 29:11. That's my life verse at this season. And the song that I would like to dedicate to God right now is All I Desire by Victory Worship. Back on Facebook, we have Sammy GA asking, is it true that Gonzalez is spelled with a Z? Okay, so some of you might know that whenever I go to a gig, I always announce my name saying, my name is Cheenee Gonzalez, and that's CHEENEE Gonzalez with a Z. And there is a perfectly good reason for that. Is because every time that... So you know how Gonzalez can be spelled two ways? It's either Gonzalez with an S or Gonzalez with a Z. And I always specify that it ends with a Z and people still get it wrong. I guess I have to live with that for the rest of my life. It's funny though how many people can get my nickname wrong. Like there's so many different ways to spell Cheenee, and I'm just... At this point, it's just funny, and I just can't wait for the next innovative way for you to spell my name. This next question is from Twitter by Erica Juddy, who happens to be the admin of my official fan club on Twitter. You guys can follow it, by the way. That's at Cheeneekins. And her question is, a song that describes your life. At the moment, the song that describes my life is Live Your Love by the Katinas. This other question from Kira Cortez on Facebook, who happens to be a really good friend of mine as well, says, if you had 1 hour before you go deaf, what would you listen to? What would be the songs that you'd forever engrave in your mind? Kain na lang tayo? Hindi ko masagot. And our last question comes from Twitter by Isabel Chua, or at Isabel MRD. Kung walang kamay ang mga birds, then why do birds suddenly appear? Siguro kasi, just like me, they long to be close to you. So that's all the time we have for today. I'm sorry if I wasn't able to answer all the questions on my social media sites. Maybe on my next Q&A video, I could add some of those over there. For gig updates and music releases, you guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you guys want to send me a message, that's cool too, because I would definitely reply to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you're going to be seeing videos like these more often. I don't know where the subscription button is. It's probably somewhere here, but don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I gotta go because I have a gig. I'll see you there, or I'll see you on my next video.
This is not a love song, but I wanna tell you